Hello, it's TruthSOSeeker here. I'm back with another 1v1 for you guys. I've been playing some games since Season 3 came out. I'm actually already champion ranked again. But my opponent here did something a little unorthodox, and I feel that this video is going to be a really good informer, just to kind of tell you why you absolutely have to scout. Because otherwise you could just get blown off the board, just smashed completely out of the game really early on. And I mean, I know this is like common sense, right? But the reason I say it is because with me learning a lot of the matchups and getting better at the game, there's a certain amount of confidence that you start to get, and even if you know what is going to be good, you still have to be ready for some of those offbeat hits that someone could throw at you. And this game, I think, emphasizes it even more so. So I'm starting with, I guess, a build that I think is somewhat normal. I'm going Generator 3rd, and I'm going for a double chopper, just to try and fight for some power and get some more supplies and the like. You see, I'm getting my grunts ready. On this map in particular, I like going down into the middle and clearing out the nodes after I get some money picked up. So I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on that choppers, so that, like, if he sends his chopper, I can, just try and ram it. And it can be hard to do that, especially because I have to keep remicroing the grunts. And I see that he didn't have his... I see he didn't build a chopper to send in. So I'm kind of wondering already, okay, is this going to be a legitimate game or not? So I'm really... You should just take the power and just think about other options they could have done. Just think, okay, they didn't go for the power, maybe they're getting power somewhere else, or something like that. And I see he has his grunts here, so I'm gonna back off. I could have probably just rammed and then had the other reinforce, but I just wanted to get the rest of that power first, and then come in for the ram. And you see, he has a good bit of grunts. I think that's 4 or 5 grunts, but I have 2 choppers. Yeah, I think that was 5 grunts. But yeah, I have these 2 choppers, and with the rams, I'm actually gonna be able to kill all of them without getting any kills, without getting any of my choppers killed. Which is going to be really nice. Now, I assume since he had that many grunts, I'm assuming he's taken his node out already. I'm going to scout that, and I'm going to go ahead and scout his main now. I'm going for a single generator because I personally have grown to like just going single and trying to get actual units out instead of booming. But here I see, okay, he has a double raid camp, and this immediately tells me he's going in for a very strong hit, but his eco is going to be completely crippled from it. So, therefore, I think it justifies me crippling my eco a little bit in preparation. Now, this chopper's basically dead, but trying to get a little bit of extra damage because he didn't manage to actually kill it. And I just realized, and I forgot just now too, in the commentary, that since he's rushing and he's Aatrox, it's very likely he got countermeasures. Yeah, I realized that there. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my pads because I know I honestly could have probably tried to go Tech 2 anyway, considering what he's doing, because if you get Tech 2, your base becomes stronger, the core, so the cheese isn't as strong. So I suppose that could have been an option as well. But yeah, see, he comes in with his jetpack brutes here and takes me out. I'm not really in a position to where I can fight him with choppers. I don't quite have enough yet to simply take on his guys directly. But what I'm going to do here is, due to the nature of the map, I don't know if he'll come from the front or if he'll take the teleporter and come through one of the sides. So I go ahead and split my grunts off, and I'm going to watch each of the teleporters, and if I see that he comes through one of them, I'll know at least which way he's coming from. Because right now, I would like to expand, and if worst comes to worst, I'll probably just grab both of them. But I would like to grab the base, obviously, that he is not actually going to be coming from, because if he spots it, then he's just going to, potentially just take it out. But I have no sights on him yet, so I figure, okay, let's just take a bunch of bases and see where it puts us. So I'm trying to scout out, to find out where he is, and I do find him at last. I see he's coming from this direction. So now I at least know where he's coming from, and this honestly kind of makes me feel a little bit better just about the rush in general, when I can see the opponent where he is, how far he's going to be till he gets to my base, that kind of stuff. I really like seeing that. Now, I DQ'd my base, but it looks like he was ignoring it. Perhaps I could have kept it queued just to make him invest a little bit more time coming down. Also, it's worth noting, if you look at my turrets, I have not upgraded them yet, and that is, of course, intentional, because I figure there wasn't a need to immediately do so. At least not until I confirmed that he was hitting that base. Because he could have potentially just used the jetpack brutes to aim at something else. But yeah, you see, the rush has arrived. He's aiming main now. And I'm going to try and have my engineer that I got out just try and heal that base. See, I'm even ramming with my choppers to buy me more time. That's basically their point. Their point isn't actually to kill. It's to try and buy me some more time to get some healing on. Because, yeah, I really need to try and slow down the rate that they're killing this base. Because I can't actually kill them since they have dying breath. Or I can, of course, but it's going to take a little bit longer. I suppose I could have upgraded that turret maybe to just try and increase it, the speed I'm killing them a little bit. But if you look at the base, it's right on the brink of death. It's right there. It actually goes away. I ram the guys to stop them from hitting just for a little bit. And it's looking like the base is going to live. I was honestly quite afraid in game. I thought, even with all the defenses I had put up, I thought I was safe, but that was way closer than I expected it to be. Definitely should have had at least one more turret. And the suicide grunts that I used, they were actually quite effective. They did their job really well. Without them, I probably wouldn't have had this work. This strategy work out for me. Maybe if I went engineers immediately, could have, because I would have had more then. So I could see that being another alternative. But at this point, I feel like I'm really far ahead, because he invested a lot of his eco into trying to cripple me. I have a very defended base. I'm grabbing a triple right now. I'm actually just going around and potentially just grabbing all the bases I can, because I know that he's not really going to have the force to actually stop them. I think it is overreaching too much to try and grab that. I think 3 at maximum is what you should be grabbing, at least until you have a developed army. Then you can consider grabbing more. But I go ahead and scout him now, and I see he has an Apex and a supply pad coming up. I figure, okay, I can probably just stay on his base and start, you know, just trying to strip him or something, because he won't have stuff out for a while. But I see he pops a Hunter. My guess is that he made 1 Hunter before he sold his raid camp, so that, you know, he could defend from an early chopper push. And honestly, what I could have maybe done, and Elias was even saying maybe I could try and get some early or very quick force out to try and deal with him. That probably could have worked. Not gonna lie, I'm on Tech 2 already, so, and on 4 bases, so if I were to just try and mass produce units, that probably would have worked. But I was just kind of going with the, you know, overkill kind of method, and just trying to more or less just massively outproduce him. Playing it safe, basically. I find that I do this a lot, and this is something I actually really need to work on, because there are certain cases where this is a bad thing, not committing to something. Because, for example, right here, you know, I'm not really committing to the attack, which it's not so bad either, because I mean, I have no control. I have huge map control right now, controlling 5 of the 6 bases. But it seems like, honestly, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually giving my opponent more freedom than he should have. And it's kind of funny when you consider how much I have. But I think stronger would have been to just try and end the game right now, because I don't think he actually could have held on if I were to push for something decisive. So I see he spots this game, so I decided to upgrade this. I was actually waiting to see which base he would attack before I do that. So I actually have a plan in mind here. I didn't just buy those bases as sack bases. I was actually planning on keeping it and defending whichever base he hit. Because I figure, okay, if I can defend whichever base he hits, then that just means I'm extremely far ahead then, because then he wasn't able to take any bases out. And I truly do have 5 bases to his 1, which would be extremely decisive. So yeah, I go ahead and queue up the shield generator now. I figure if I can get that up, then that'll buy me time to get my engineers and heal it and if he's having to worry about the shield generator, that'll give my, you know, army time to get up there. I'm still producing units. Seeing it. I'm approaching max pop right now. I'm getting somewhat high up there. I'm gonna go ahead and aim down the sentinels, just trying to get more power nodes. I probably could have just left some guys and started walking up. I at least send the engineers up ahead. That seemed like that was at least necessary. But yeah, now that I'm capping, I'm gonna go ahead and send the rest of my army up. But yeah, since that shield managed to get up in time, it's looking like I'm going to be able to get my engineers there in time to save it. And I'm also going to start to get fortifications so that he can't damage the base nearly as much as he was before. It's actually kind of funny looking at it like this because he's not even going to be able to drop this base. I'm getting a shield on this base, by the way, because I figure since this base is diagonal, if he were to have taken the teleporter, then he could have potentially hit it. But yeah, you can see he actually was not even able to drop this base that I built on his side of the map, which I think just shows that I was in a completely winning position. So I'm nearing max pop right now, max pop 1 or whatever you would call it. And I'm starting to think about potentially pushing on his base. I had some ideas of waiting for him to push on my expansion and then push on him. That way, you know, we'd enter a base trade kind of scenario, which would, of course, be absolutely terrible for my opponent because I control 5 of the 6. So a base trade would be definitely in my favor. And I think that's kind of what I'm just doing right now. And again, I think this is kind of almost more of a waste of time kind of mindset than anything. Because, true, if he tries to base trade, then if I go in, it's going to benefit me in the end, but it takes a lot longer than it should, and I'm not really doing the most precise way to deal with the problem. And it's costing me a little bit of time that I could be, you know, spending in another game trying to learn more. So that's, again, I think that's just something I really need to try and work on here. See, I see sending these Locusts to the teleporter to go. I assumed he was going through, of course, but I'm just going to go through it after him and try and take him out. He's actually aiming down my Locust, which was a little annoying because he was able to get some kind of trade for it, which I mean, it's probably something I could have avoided if I microed a little better. But of course, it's not really necessary to micro anymore, considering the stage of the game right now. But again, if you just think back to the beginning of this video, though, how all this could have just resulted in immediate loss if I did not scout him. Because you saw how close my base was to being destroyed, and that was after all the preparation of turrets and engineers and suicide grunts that I did. And if I didn't do any of that, then I would have just been wiped out of the game right away. So I'm going ahead and I'm scouting him out to just see exactly what he's doing. See, he has a double foundry, so he was, you know, going for some kind of cheesy build with locusts and hunters. But I don't really believe in locusts anymore. I know I've been on and off about the subject in a lot of videos in the past, but I'm more and more just growing to not even believe in locusts as a unit anymore. I mean, true, Season 1 they were, you know, broken, but now I think they're just not that good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm sending my guys back through the teleporter. I'm getting the rest of my pop together. I have a pretty sizable army now, and I'm thinking I'm just going to be able to go in, and I should be in a situation to where I should just be able to fight him and win, even with base defenses. Again, looking back, it is a little bit sad that I did not just have the mindset to push in immediately and go for the kill. But it'll at least show you what you should not do, if anything. I'm actually going ahead, by the way, and building a sensor tower because since that base has a dip in it, it's down in a chasm, the turrets won't be able to have sight. So I was potentially, since I know he has locusts, potentially trying to give them some extra sight by having the sensor tower. And once the remainder of my army comes here, I'm probably looking to push. I have my Chosen out as well. I can't really be any more developed than this unless I go for Tech 3. I don't think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm just going to try going now. I'm really, really far ahead in terms of development of actual units and the army itself, which is enough, you know, to win. But yeah, expect some more, I guess, Isabel gameplay from me in the near future. I also have some 2v2s I'm planning on uploading as well. I haven't really done too many of them, mostly just because I don't really have a really consistent way to play. Like, I can always play 1v1, you know, it's just I need to be ready myself, but I would need to have a very active 2s partner or 3s partners if I were to do those. And, you know, it can be hard to get that kind of stuff consistently. But, yeah, finally, I'm going ahead and I'm pushing in here. I figure this should be decisive. I was expecting him to throw a bulwark, but I'm guessing he kind of was just conceding defeat, more or less, because he self-destructs his base and he doesn't bother saving his army. And it just kind of falls apart. It's actually kind of funny, because this guy pretty much called me a noob, and he said I was lucky that I didn't die, and that I need to get good at the game. I'll actually leave some messages up here. I don't really support trash talking that much, but I mean, whenever people go out of the way like this to kind of, I don't know, just insult like that, it can be a little bit rude. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in another one, so take care.